Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards. Good day to you guys. It has been a while since I've made a video, and I think I've made maybe two videos like in the last 5 or 6 weeks. It's been quite a while, but hoping to get into the swing of things. Of course, I didn't get to go to the National this year, just some other obligations and things of importance. But I sure did enjoy seeing everyone's videos. I haven't commented on a lot of them. I've been watching a lot of videos on TV, and I haven't even made my way all the way through all the videos, but I sure do enjoy just seeing all the smiling faces, the camaraderie, the community that's developed through YouTube, and then of course the cards. But really, I think it's the people and the community and the unity within the community that I really enjoy. Most of the cards, not all the cards, but most of the cards we see them show after show after show, and we all have different collecting avenues that we're in. And some people are pre-war, some people are '60s, some people are '50s. You got people like me that are kind of like all over the place, and I really do enjoy football. I love football, and that's kind of what this video is going to be about today, is to show you some football cards. Of course, I didn't get to go to the National, but I was still really busy, and some of you may know I'm working on the 1969 Topps football set in a PSA. I'm looking for the cards that look like they should be a 5 or 6. Now, of course, if I can find a PSA 3 card graded that looks like it's a 6 or a 5, I'm going to be all over that. And I've come across some PSA 7s that there was something about them I just didn't like. And we'll talk about that more as we go along. So it's not really the grade specifically, because I'm not going to enter into a registry and try to have a high ranking. That's just not what I'm all about. But I do want all my cards to look good, because the 1969 Topps football cards, for me, for my eyes, when they're really been through the ringer, when they've really been beat up, they just don't appeal to me. Similar to like the 1962 baseball cards. I like the 62 set, but when the cards are pretty well abused, that wood grain with all the chipping, I'm not interested. But I love the look of the 62 cards when they're in good shape. Same with the 71 baseball, the 62 football, even the 85 football. And the 69 set is kind of one of those, but really, and you'll see some examples today, what really, really bothers me are fisheyes. And the more we look at these cards, you'll see, and there's a few of them that I do have that have fisheyes. For the price I paid, I'm probably just going to have to learn to deal with those eyes as I look at my eyes at those fisheyes. But anyways, I want to get the camera turned around and show you guys some of the cards I picked up, and kind of explain how it happened. I will tell you right up front that one of the dealers that we, as a national dealer on eBay, and always has a lot of stuff, but sometimes we've thought he could be doing a little bit of shill bidding within their auction, and that's Probstien. But I found a 1969 set that was graded, that was being broken up, and I put some placer bids in real early, and managed to follow it through to the end. So stand by, let me get the camera turned around, and we will look at some football cards. Okay, guys, I'm back with you, and I got the camera turned around, and this is one of the cards I picked up from Probstien. I picked up quite a few of them, I guess 20-ish maybe, and I'm going to want to talk about them as I go along, but this is a 1969 Topps football card. That's what they look like. Many of you probably know, but I know there's some people that aren't football collectors, and one of the things that I really love about this set is the logos with the Bengals there. That's really cool. And this set has a lot of meaning to me, because I was born in 1962, and my brother was born in 1956. And so he was born like in December of 56. So when these cards in 1969 came out, my brother was probably 14 years old, I guess. And yeah, he would have been about 14. I'm trying to do the math here in my head. He would have been about 14 years old, and he liked sports, but, shortly, probably when he turned 15, 14 years old, he really kind of got out of sports and was really into motors, and he was a motorhead. And so I kind of inherited his football cards. And these are really the cards I first remember, because I was really drawn to football as my first love of sports. And I remember just like looking at these cards over and over and over again. I've got a box full of the original 69 cards. They are beat up, because I looked at them so often. And there were so many things about the cards that just kind of made me think really deep. Like, again, you can see that this Cheryl Hedrick, he's playing for the Bengals, but he's got a Kansas City Chiefs jersey on. And that just like blew me away. I couldn't figure out how a player could be on one team and wearing a different jersey. And it just was one of those early things that really got me to thinking. And the back of the cards are cool also here. I've always liked the black with the green cartoon. I mean, these cards are just so awesome. And you can see he was a linebacker, and he played for the Chiefs, and he's a veteran of 5 All-Star games. Just a really cool. The back are just nice with that cartoon. Good information up there. And Cheryl Hedrick. And the thing is, when you're building a set, you got to pay for common players that you never would want to pay for. But if you look at that serial number 99, I'm not really for sure like how new that is, but I would imagine that's in the last 4 or 5 years. But for this Cheryl Hedrick card, I won it at Probstien for $11. $11. And of course, I bought quite a few cards, so I paid shipping for one and got free shipping on all the rest. So $11 for this Cheryl Hedrick. And I don't even know what PSA grading costs are now, but basically, I know that it's more than $11. So I was so happy to add a card like that to my collection for building the set. Next up is a guy named Dave Witzel. And I just love the colors on these cards. I mean, you got this orange and, again, that logo. And the thing is, like, you can get some really bad fisheyes all on these different colors here. Like we have blue, and then you've got this orange. It's kind of reminiscent, I guess, a little bit of like the 54 Topps baseball set, where you've got the Al Kaline rookie in red, and you've got the Hank Aaron in the orange, Ernie Banks in white, and so on. So it's a little bit reminiscent of that. But yeah, Dave Witzel. And this, of course, was when the Saints were brand new, and I paid $11 again for that Dave Witzel card. Next up is Tucker Fredrickson. And again, that orange, kind of an interesting combination with the blue against the orange. You can see how it looks so much better with the Saints. But that's the way it is. But yeah, Tucker Fredrickson. And again, no fisheyes, good registration. Again, all these are very, very, a lot of them are sequential. Whoever put into Probstien, they had got them all graded one after another. And yeah, this Tucker Fredrickson, I paid a whopping $8 for that. $8. I mean, the shipping for get the cards, the PSA was more than $8. I'm sure of that. Next up is a Jerry Simmons and a PSA 7. And again, this is one of those cards that befuddled me as a kid. I was like, 6 or 7 years old, just kind of getting the idea of really about sports. And what blew me away is, how can he be with the Falcons wearing a Steelers jersey? I did not understand changing teams. Again, I was, like 6 or 7 years old. And it didn't make sense to my mind. And, but again, just that vibrant red color. Man, the logo is just popping right off there. Jerry Simmons. And again, on this card, $9. $9. I mean, man, oh man. This is how you've got to build this collection, I guess, and grade it. You've got to, when you see stuff fairly cheap, you just got to kind of go for it. I mean, you can't, it's hard to buy cards, one at a time. Now, here's a guy that I know a lot of us football people have heard of, and this is Dan Abramowitz. He was a great receiver. Boy, he was a solid, top-notch guy. Really was kind of the Saints' first star on the field. I mean, they had some other guys, but like Dan Abramowitz was really the first guy that really played good quality ball for the Saints. But again, that blue background. I mean, oh man, just beautiful cards. Just beautiful cards. When you see these when they're not in good shape, It kind of hurts. It hurts my eye at least a little bit. So Dan Abramowitz, just a great, great football player. Had a really good career. At one time, he led or he had the record in the NFL, I believe, for consecutive receptions, like 100 and some odd games or something like that. That's off the top of my head. But Dan Abramowitz, again, $10. This one here is one of my favorite guys. I remember having this card as a kid because of the name Spider. Spider Lockhart. I thought, who would name their kid Spider? I kind of wish my mom and dad did. But now you can see, like, I just got to deal with it. You see that fisheye right there? There's a couple of them, like, they look like little stars against a dark night sky, maybe. But, yeah. Those are okay. Those aren't too bad. But again, what a cool design. You got this hot, like, I don't even know what you want to call it, this pink, what is it, I can't think of it, like a magnetic color or something, I don't know. Like a super duper hot pink, leave it there. I'm an old man, I don't know my colors anymore, but yeah, Spider Lockhart with that cool New York logo. I always loved that NY logo for the Giants. Thought it was cool. And again, Spider Lockhart. His real name was Carl, but he went by Spider, which I thought was so cool. And again, a PSA 7, $11. This card here is one I remember having as a kid. Not a Patriots fan, Boston Patriots, not the New England. And but this is a beautiful color combo card. Check out that Patriots uniform against that dark blue backdrop. And you can start to see that fisheye right above that shoulder pad right there. But I mean, look, I mean, you can see like how big my fingers are. I mean, I've got this real close to the camera lens. And it's there, but, from a arm's length, you really don't see it. But those are the kind of issues I have with this. I try to want to make sure I don't have fisheyes in the background. Art Graham, I remember this card, having it as a kid because my uncle kind of looked like Art Graham. And I always remember thinking my uncle was a football player, but I knew he wasn't Art Graham. His name was Steve. But still, as a kid, you look at cards and you have all these neat things running through your mind. And that logo down there, that is so cool. That is a cool logo. And again, Art Graham, pretty good player. 100 and almost 200 receptions. Cool card. Super happy to have that. By the way, that was $11. I'll pick this up a little bit or getting kind of long. Gary Ballman, again, one of those cards that blew me away. How could a guy be playing for the Eagles wearing a Steeler uniform? Made no sense to me. Gary Ballman, that nice red background. That's a nice bright red. Boy, that looks good. And you got the back. Gary Ballman, PSA 6, $11. This guy here, I remember as a player because I'm a Packer fan, so I knew like the Vikings players. And kind of an odd combo there with the red background and purple and yellow. But hey, it is what it is. I didn't design the cards. And you see good registration because you can see his face really close up there. The eyes are pretty solid. Sometimes like the registration, when it's a face like that, sometimes you'll see a little bit of distortion. But this one here looks really, really good. Lonnie Warwick. And this one here was $11 as well. This card here as a kid always cracked me up. Wendell Hayes. He's like looking at somebody like, what you talking about, Willis? Or maybe something else. But yeah, he's kind of got a little bit of a look on his face. It's kind of like disgruntled. But nice PSA 7. Look at that yellow background. Again, man, these are sharp. And that logo, such an awesome logo. And again, he's not wearing a Chiefs uniform. Kind of really confused me as a kid. But you can see on the back, acquired from Denver. And great card. Wendell Hayes. I remember that card as a kid. The one I had was just beat to smithereens. Here's another one that befuddled me. Tony Lorick wearing a Colts jersey, but playing for the Saints. How can it be? That's a nice color combo there, the blue and white with that red background. Pretty sharp indeed. Tony Lorick. And that one there costed me $11. And here's one that I like a lot, Nate Ramsey with the Eagles. Again, that background is good. Nice orange. Cool Eagles logo. And that cost me a grand total of $11. Picking the pace up here a little bit. Nick Rassus. Look at that nice green background. Cool Falcons helmet. Neat card, PSA 7. Man, I got this one here for $8. $8. Can't beat it. Here's a cool one, Jim Catkavich. That just sounds like a tough name, Jim Catkavich. With the New York Giants, again, that hot pink background. Take a good look at Jim there. He looks, you can tell he's been around the block. This is 1969, of course, but man, look at the years pro. 14 years. He came in the league with Sam Huff and Don Chandler in 1956. As a defensive end, you know that Jim played against some really, really good players and some tough hombres, tackling Jim Brown, Jim Taylor, Bart Starr, on and on. So I'm happy to have Jim Catkavich for $11. Here's one I remember as a kid, Fred Arbanis. Again, cool Chiefs logo. Got the Chiefs uniform on this time. In a 6.5 with a beautiful orange background. Fred looks really good in that card. Picked that one up for $11. This one here might have been the steal of the whole pick. I mean, if you're a football guy, you've heard the name Ron Mix. Just an absolute dominant offensive lineman with the Chargers. He was a rook. I think he came up in 1960 with them. And the cool thing about, I just love that Chargers emblem, but you can see that fisheye right under the R. But I'll live with it. I'll live with it because there's a little fisheye there. But you got to get really close to see him. But with that hot pink background and that badass Chargers uniform. Sorry about my language, but I just love that Chargers uniform. That is so cool. And a PSA 6, Ron Mix is a Hall of Famer. I got that for $12. Oh no, sorry about that. All right, next up, we got a guy named Dave Parks. This is a PSA 6, nice green background. Really kind of a cool pose when you think about it. You know, kind of leaning back, catching the football. Dave Parks, $10 for this one. Now, this card I did not get from Probstien, but I got it pretty much the same day. And this is Mr. Sir Francis Tarkington in a PSA 5, wearing a Viking jersey, but playing for the Giants. Again, from my mind when I was a kid, did not make sense. Sir Francis, nice red background. This card's just a little bit duller in color than the others, but it still looks really, really good. Nice card. PSA 5. I bought this from a different dealer, and, you know, I kind of paid up a little bit for it, but that's all right. Sir Francis is, you know, one of the probably top 20 guys in the set, so I ended up paying a grand total of $35 for that. Boy, I'm sorry about that, guys. I keep banging this camera around, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Getting back to Probstien's purchase. This is a Gary Lewis, running back, San Francisco 49ers, with that nice green background. See that little right up there, that little blemish right there? It's almost like a little stain. But they gave it a 7. And I'm okay with that. Love that Niner logo. Pretty cool. Just kind of curious why that stain. I guess they don't give a qualifier for that anymore. And that's okay. $10 for the Lewis card. Daryl Dess. That hot pink background with the Giants. Daryl Dess. And the back of some of these cards in that second series, they were puzzle. And we will see who the puzzle is at the very end, I believe. So yeah, Daryl Dess. And I probably should have pointed out that the cards with the white borders are Series 2 cards. You can see Jim Catkavich is a Series 1 guy because there's no white border. I should have mentioned that earlier on. Sorry about that. This is another one that really kind of interests me. This is Matt Hazeltine. Don't know really anything about him. It's a PSA 7 and cool logo. Card's really super clean, but look at that face. I mean, looks like a fairly young guy, but look on the back here. 15 years as a pro? Come on. That must be like a really old photo. Like old photo like years ago when he was younger, because he sure doesn't look like a 15-year veteran in that picture to me, unless he just really aged really, really good. And here we got a guy, some of you may have heard of this guy, Billy Ray Smith, and his son he played with the Chargers. He got drafted. I think his name was Billy Ray Smith Jr. Pretty good ball player, but yeah, Billy Ray Smith was a really good player for the Colts. One of those kind of unsung guys. I mean, he was a solid pro, put it that way. But you can see right up there is one of those little fish eyes. You got to deal with it. But I mean, some of the I've looked away from some cards because just too many fish eyes. And yeah, Earl Morrall, good, or Billy Ray Smith, really nice card. Got that one for $11, and this is one that I had to pay up for, and I'm okay with it. Willie Wood, one of my Green Bay Packers, and beautiful logo. Again, that stain right down there. I mean, see it right there? That's, I don't know. I guess you got a PSA 6, but you can see there's a little bit of fish eyes all around his head there, and just a really odd color combo with the hot pink background and the Packers uniform. What's interesting is you'll see almost all the Packer players were holding their helmet kind of in that same position, and so happy to get that Willie Wood card, and that one there costed me $29. Now, real quick, these are some of the cards, the Hall of Famers. I just wanted to show you the ones I already have. I'm going to go rapid fire here because this is getting to be a long video. But this is Jim Otto, one of the greatest centers ever to play the game. Roman Gabriel, he was an MVP in 1969. Had one heck of an arm. Great, great player. John Hadle, pretty good quarterback. Bounced around the league a little bit, but he was one of the early stars of the AFL. Here's my man Ray Nitschke. Love Ray. Great, great picture there holding that helmet. One of the best quarterbacks ever to play the game. Johnny Unitas. Love that card. Love it. This guy here replaced Jim Brown, and he does not get the credit he deserves as being one of the really great quarterbacks of the running backs of the late 60s into the early 70s. Leroy Kelly, a phenomenal running back. This guy here, a lot of people don't know, Bill Glass, and the reason why I brought him out is he ran a prison ministry during his NFL career and then long after. He just died here maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but Behind the Glass was the name of it. It was a national prison ministry where the gospel of Jesus Christ was brought into prisons all over the world because of Bill Glass. And I actually know one of the guys who spent a lot of time at the Bill Glass prison ministry. Don Maynard, the favorite target of one Joe Willie Namath. Beautiful card. Beautiful card. And here's another great guy, Daryl LaMonica, the Mad Bomber. Boy, could he ever throw the ball deep. He was a great quarterback. Came out of Notre Dame. Here's a guy that was just like a utility knife in football, Earl Morrall. And I love this card, but man, that fisheye there, I got to admit it, guys, kind of bothers me. I'll get over it. But Earl Morrall, he was just a really solid quarterback for a lot of years, backed up Unitas, and played in Super Bowl 3, I believe, or not 3. He was in one of the Super Bowls. John Brody, great quarterback, not in the Hall of Fame. I think he should be. His career definitely is worthy. And you know what? He was a great senior PGA golfer. I believe he won a couple of senior PGA events. I mean, he was a solid golfer, and he did a lot of broadcasting for, I think, NBC in the 70s and 80s on national football telecasts. this guy here, Sonny Jurgensen, one of the best football quarterbacks ever to play. He had just a wonderful arm. I had a lot of off the field issues and injuries, and but Sonny, man, he could sling the ball. He was a thrower of the football. Great card, Sonny Jurgensen. Last but not least, my all-time favorite Green Bay Packer quarterback, the great Bart Starr. MVP, Super Bowl I and II, 5-time NFL champion. Really one of the pioneers of the game. Him and Johnny Unitas, boy, they were the cream of the crop. All right, guys, so that is my 1969 card pickup. I wanted to share that with you guys because not often do you get a chance to, buy 20-some cards, and the vast majority commons with this kind of a grade, and spend that kind of a money. And you know what? I'm really, really excited. So I hope you guys enjoyed this long video showing you some 1969 Topps football cards. And you know what, guys? The hobby is going great. And I just hope everybody has a good summer. And let's get into some football here in another month or so. Go Pack, go. Take care, everyone.